All right. Hello, Justin, and Bot Academy, and any other viewers that happen to come on this video. So, welcome. I'm Steven, and there's Justin. So, Justin and I have been
Howdy.
talking lately about appointments, and I know that like a lot of the bots I build, a lot of times have always like linked to Calendly or linked to Schedule Once, or where the window like pops up and you pick a time or whatever, right? But it's never been the most user-friendly. So Justin, I was talking to Justin about it, and he told me that he found a way to actually have the scheduling feature in the bot. So he's been kind enough to come on and spend some time on Friday afternoon here, to show us how to do that. So he's actually going to show me how to do this live for everyone watching. Hello, Justin.
That's right. Howdy. Thanks for having me. Yeah, this is, to be honest, I take all appointments now through Messenger. I still have a couple calendar links that float out there that are not connected to the bot. And occasionally when somebody schedules through one of those other links and I don't get the Messenger reminders that pop into me, I'm always like, I almost forgot about this appointment. So the really handy tool about having the in-Messenger scheduler is not only does the person who's scheduling the appointment get reminders in Messenger, but you do as well. And you have the control to set up when you want them. For example, I have him go off an hour before the appointment to both me and the person scheduling, and then 5 minutes before to both me and the person, and then right at the time of the event only to me. So I'm not super annoying to the person who's trying to get a hold of me, but that last one right at that moment I'm supposed to be jumping on the call, it'll hit me one more time just to make sure I'm on the up and up.
I love that, because it definitely happens to me. Like I'll like set alarms because I get so absent-minded in this stuff that you just start building and I got an appointment. Shit. So,
right, and the best part is you can put, whether it's a phone number that they're calling you from, you're going to a Zoom meeting or whatever it is. I have that link right in that message it sends to me. So if it's a call, I can click from my phone, it goes right into the phone call, or if it's a meeting, I can just click from the desktop and boom, it launches right into it. Makes it easy.
Oh, I love that. That's great. Okay, I'm even more excited now. Awesome. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, let's do a little bit of this. All right, so I know for anybody who's watching, we like to do videos like this so that we're kind of on the fly and doing it live, but at the same time, there are some things we just prepped ahead of time. So if you need to pause or we're going too fast, just pause and just make sure you're doing the right thing and then continue.
Correct. So just for example, you'll see that there's a little post-it note with a specialized link. That's going to become important in a moment. You don't have to look at it right now, but we will be referencing this specialized link, which I imagine we can even post the structure of it with the video when it goes live.
Sure.
So it's easy to copy and paste and how it all works and all that, because that's the crux of making this thing work out for you. So we're going to use the calendar scheduling app Calendly as the platform for actually picking and scheduling the time and date. I know Acuity is also really, really good and works in a similar way to this. I just happen to have used Calendly for years, so I went with Calendly first. No other rhyme or reason as to why picking that one. So
Cool.
We'll get started here by building out a simple flow. So to get started, obviously, like most things, you're going to want to greet the person, because you might be sharing this link to somebody and it might be the first contact they're having with your messenger. So for you, you're going to do a simple greeting, and then you're going to want to collect the essential pieces of information that you would need to get a hold of the person. For me, that's email and phone number are the essential pieces of information. So as Steve is just kind of writing out his conversational greeting to let people know exactly what to do here, you can just kind of think about what information is most important to you if you were collecting it, and that's what you will have the bot ask for. So, all right, he's got, welcome to Chat Blender. Thank you for requesting an appointment. Please click the button below to begin.
All right, cool.
So then that's going to bounce off. So first question you'd want to probably collect is going to be email address, I would imagine.
Yeah, let's do that. Please tap.
So if you haven't used this user input for email addresses before, it's really fun. It's really fancy. It's awesome. When you change this reply type to email as Stephen just did there, the bot messenger will automatically pull the email address associated with the user's Facebook account and display it to them as a button that they can just simply tap if they want to give you their email address instead of having to actually type it out. And so it just makes it a nice and easy user experience. And same thing happens with phone number. When you change the reply type to phone, it will pull the phone number as registered with the Facebook account and offer it to the user as a button. In case you didn't know any of that, it's just really cool. It just reduces the amount of typing letters that people have to do. And to me, I find that very, very helpful tool. So we got to set up.
Before we move on, but you know what I don't always actually use the reply type phone, because I found, and maybe this is updated since I've been doing this, but I found that people would never just type in numbers. They'd always type in like a dash or, those types of things, and then the system would read it as an incorrect number when it really is exactly what we want. So sometimes I just use text. But
Interesting.
You ever notice that?
Not in phone, no. Because the variable type, the phone number, I keep as text, and it'll capture. It doesn't discriminate for dashes or parentheses.
Well,
or it hasn't for me, I should say. I don't know for certain. It hasn't for me, and I haven't typed one in a long time. Those platform updates all the time. So I'd have to go in and try it again.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, everything gets updated so quickly. It's sometimes you don't even know for a little while before you realize.
Don't even get me started on the latest broadcasting news that just came out.
That's for another call. Okay, cool.
Right. So in essence, you're cutesy bootsy just asking for phone number and email address. Those are the two essential pieces of information that you need the user to give you. And in this demo, that's all you need to ask them for to have them provide. So this very next step is you could say something along the lines of, thank you for that information. The last step now is to schedule your appointment. Pick your time and day, or however you want to word that.
All right, so the last step is to book your time.
And then do so by clicking the button below.
Yeah.
Now, before we actually put this link in here, you can go ahead and finish writing if you're writing more copy for this, but before we actually put the link in here, we're going to jump over to Calendly and show what the questions look like.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm not going to do my best copy over here. I'm going to
quick and dirty.
A little bit quick, because that's not what people are going to care about.
Right. Go to the other tab of Calendly there so we can go into the actual event here. So when you set up Calendly is really simple. We're not going to go through setting up the entire Calendly part, because to be honest with you, it's filling out forms, and you should probably be pretty easy to navigate into here. Where the important part is the second block down on here is there's one called event or invitee questions. Okay. So go ahead and hit the pencil next to first name, last name. I want to just kind of show what it defaults as. So it defaults as full name. We just went in and hit that pencil and changed it to first name, last name to split them off. Personal preference. That's just what I do. It's defaults. The second space is going to be email address. That is a system default. Everything below email address are your optional questions. Now, the order that you have these in and how they're referred to in the specialized link that we're going to talk to in a moment is very important. Okay. This first question is A1, second one is A2, so on and so forth as you were going down the list. I'm sure you're not going to have more than 26. You should not have more than 26 questions. So,
oh, no, never. Don't do more than 10.
So you won't be going to B's or anything like that. You're going to stick to the A's. And just remembering the order that we're in. So once you have this part of Calendly set up, you're going to save it. And then the actual link to this particular event, which you can see the view live page, you click on that, you're going to grab that link, and this is going to be the base of the specialized link that we're going to go back into ManyChat for. Okay, so I've copied that link. Right, so go ahead and click on the post-it. So now this is a link that might be small to some, that we grabbed, that I actually grabbed from someone else that they showed me how to make this specialized link. So just like Steve did, he just took that event and he pasted it in over, like when we give you this link, you're probably going to have Steve's link there, and you're just going to want to paste your event over the top of it. Mm-hmm. And when he first pasted it in there, it added the date at the end of it. And like he did, you can go ahead and just go right back to
that happens all the time when you're doing that, right? So basically, anything before the question mark, right?
Correct. That's where you would paste it. After the question mark is the information that's going to be passed from ManyChat over into Calendly through this link. So go ahead and copy that entire block.
And I'll have to tweak some of this as well, right?
Yeah, we're going to tweak it right now. So you're going to copy it because you're going to need the inserted custom fields from ManyChat to change out the items. So we're going to go ahead and click on the book time button. No, are you gonna send it right to the web page from there? That's what I do.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So
yeah,
so this is not a send message. This is an open website.
Open website. Yep. So you're gonna go ahead and paste that whole URL in there, and then we're gonna go back and edit some. Oh, it took the whole. I hate when it does that. You can never tell when it's copying a whole item or just the content. All right. So first thing you're gonna do is go to my name. I have Justin there. You don't want Justin in there because you want to use the merge field first name. So there you go. And then put an actual space instead of %20. I mean, it doesn't matter, but I just do it for good measure. So you'll do first name, space, last name.
Excellent.
So, and that's how it's going to pull those in. Then important to keep without changing is the ampersand, the word email, and the word equals. Do not change that part, but then go over to the little bracket part there where it says email. That's where you're going to insert the custom field that collected the email address that you set up just a few moments ago. Okay. I believe you just called it email.
I think I did. All right, there we go.
And then same thing there with A1. A1 is the phone number question. So you're just going to replace that with your phone custom field, whichever one you're collecting it in. I think it was appointment phone number. There you go. And then the last one is you're going to replace the brackets in the user ID out with user ID, which is the messenger ID.
Right.
Just updated to a different name. Now this passing the messenger ID into this, into Calendly is crucially important because that is how Calendly is going to tell Zapier who you are to send that information back into Messenger. So it's a very important step to have that messenger ID on there, or user ID as it's now called in these custom fields. Now, as far as this part is concerned, you are set up.
Okay.
So what you're going to want to do now, though, is you have to, run through this once so that we can set up the Zap, because a new event has to be created in order to set a Zap up. So you can go ahead and preview this, and it's only going to partially work right now.
Got it. Okay, cool. So is the idea that basically they'll you know what, I'll just wait. I'm just eager.
Also, what I want you to do is before we go into Zap, we'll go ahead and go through this part first. I don't want to get it too confusing. So we're just going to go in and run through the bot once so it collects the information and sends it over into Calendly. And you can kind of see how it's going to work.
Yeah.
Then book time. So now when Calendly opens at this point, nothing's different for the front end user. If you've ever used this before and you're familiar with it, it just looks normal. So go ahead and book a day and a time.
Okay, so actually book something.
Yeah, because it's going to need it for the Zap stage next.
Okay.
So now look, all that information is pre-populated in the form.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's what that fancy link does, is it just pre-populates this form for you. And of course, Messenger ID being one of the most important pieces of information that you need, is connecting that to your event right there. So go ahead and hit schedule event.
Cool.
All right, so now let's go back into ManyChat for a moment.
Okay.
I forgot to have you add this custom field. So you can do this through settings or however your favorite way is to do it, but we need a custom field that's gonna capture the event date that you just set up in Calendly.
Okay.
And this is going to be a user custom field.
Event date. Okay.
And you also want one.
Of these?
It would be, yeah, use date and time.
Oh, okay, cool.
Good thing you caught that. And then you're going to want one called, hang on, I got to look at the name. I believe you can go ahead and start creating the custom field. I believe it's called UUID.
Oh. Okay. Just like that?
Yep, UUID, correct. And UUID, yep, you can use as text. This is just a, that's basically like a user ID from Calendly that I use for a more advanced feature that we probably won't have time to put on this video, but that's if you want to allow someone to reschedule an appointment from Messenger or cancel an appointment. It's how it attaches them back to that same appointment. So at least you're going to start collecting that information now, and we can build features onto this later to show that kind of cool thing. But for the moment, we'll just go through and just collect that information for you.
And I'm sure, like with any of this, they'd still get like the Calendly notifications, right? Like
absolutely.
So at the end of the day, they still have a way. If you didn't want to do the advanced stuff, maybe we'll be able to do that another day if there's some good feedback on this and people are enjoying the video. That at the end of the day, they can always do it that way.
Correct. Right. This is, I like to build for the future. So when I build things and I think I'm going to add a feature, I like to have all the stuff in place that's going to be ready for it. So when I do add a feature, it's less work. And it took me a while to find out which ID number it took to get you back to your same calendar. So you'll see it's a little wonky when we're going through the Zap to get to the actual piece of data to send back. So now we can jump into Zapier. We're going to build the Zap. This is going to be the thing that takes your event from Calendly and it sends that appointment time back into Messenger so that you can have reminders and things set up.
Okay. Cool.
So we're going to start with a Calendly. That's the trigger.
Okay. Zoom is just slowing my computer down a little bit. So
yeah, no problem. And it's going to be, invitee created.
Okay. And so, guys, if this goes a little quick, no worries. Just hit pause. Now we're connecting my account here. Oh, no. Which email is that one under? Oh, API key. Okay. So now we probably go back here.
Mm-hmm. Integrations. Apps or integrations. One of those two. I can't remember.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Boom.
Yep.
So that
after this video, you might have to regenerate your key after the video just for safety.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right.
All right.
Stealing my Calendly API key.
Right. So that's an easy fix. So now it's pulling in the data. Okay. Yay! We've got good stuff.
Excellent.
So now then the action that's going to happen after the trigger is going to be a ManyChat action.
Okay.
And you are going to update a custom field.
Update a custom.
Or what is it? Not find a user, set a custom field. That's the proper language. Set a custom field.
Excellent. And
you're going to pull the data from Calendly. Oh yeah, I don't know which count you want to use there.
You have to find the right one. Lots of zaps going here.
Oh, I know. I'm with you. By the way, as he's connecting his account here, this can be done with the free version of Zapier. We're showing you how to do this on the paid version, so it's going to be a multi-step Zap. But you can actually take these steps and build them as individual single-step Zaps where Calendly is triggering it, it's saving this custom field, Calendly is triggering it, it's saving the next custom field. You're just going to use multiple Zaps each time, and you only get 100 a month, but I use it as a free account. If I start getting close to my max, I just flip to a secondary account and turn those Zaps on. So it's possible to actually do this. That's right.
I gotcha. Yeah, that works too.
So it's possible to do this for free if you don't want to pay the $20 a month for Zapier.
Excellent.
All right, so user, that first one is going to be the user ID that you're going to use from use custom value advanced.
Okay.
And then that next box down, you're going to hit the drop down on the right, and you're going to pull up the data from invitee created, which it should be pulling up here, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So now you're going to look through and try to find the user ID input information.
So am I looking for the number, or just you mean?
Yeah, you're looking for the number / the answer to the question that we put in Calendly. It's not the easiest thing to find.
Here's UUID.
Not the UU. We want the messenger ID.
Oh, Oh, right. Where is that? Oh, well, maybe we can try speeding this up by messenger.
Question to response. Messenger ID.
Questions.
There you go.
This one.
Question and response to, yes, you want that bottom one.
Okay.
Messenger ID. And then custom field that we're going to put thing in is going to be the event date.
Event date.
And then you're going to use this value here. You're going to hit the drop down. You're going to go back and use the invitee created stuff. And you're going to find that event start date, which should be like 4 blocks down there. Event start time. There you go. Okay. Pop that sucker and hit continue.
All right.
Now we're basically going to mirror that exact same thing because we're going to add another custom field. You can go ahead and send the test if you want to send it over. It's not going to do anything at this point. Oh, yeah. You have an error.
Oh, wrong user ID. Does that matter yet?
Probably. So let's go back in and set up that template.
Okay. Maybe got the wrong one.
So, yeah, I wonder if it didn't pull through your latest information, because that's the right custom field. It just didn't have anybody for it. It didn't have any information in there.
Oh, okay.
Questions. We'll keep going down. Question responses. Let's look at all these options and see if one of them has the answer in it.
Okay.
Dean, phone number message. So that one, see, has a phone number there. There it is. The next one, question and, nope, not that one. Sorry, I was speaking too soon.
No worries.
Question and response 2, and then see how it has that number string?
Yeah. Oh,
that's the one we want. Yeah, we gave the title last time by accident, not the answer. And then you can go ahead and delete that and delete that first one. There you go. So I told you to choose the wrong one. I told you to take the title of the button as opposed to the answer of the button. I mean, of the option.
That's why we're doing this. Figure it out, and then boom.
Doing it live. We're doing it live. So boom. So that sent it through. So now we're going to set a second custom field. Okay. That you could be finished there. Now Messenger knows when your appointment has been scheduled. Now ManyChat, I should say, knows when that appointment has been scheduled. But for future growth, we're going to send the UUID back as well. So you're going to ManyChat, set another custom field, and this time we're going to set the UUID one. All else is going to be the same. You're going to choose the proper ManyChat account.
Excellent. I love it when we're doing this, because I know for anybody listening, it is hard to just be able to say exactly step by step what to do when you're not the one actually like touching it and doing it. I don't know if anybody watching is like present to that, but I'm very impressed with Justin being able to just tell me exactly what's going on here. Very cool, man.
Yeah, it helps to see it too. If I'm just going from memory, it's a little bit wonky, but you're going to use the top one because you're going to pull that information away from the first set of data that you collected. So we're looking for that question to answer to with the messenger ID answer. So there it is. Custom field, this time it's going to be that UUID one that you created.
Boom. UUID.
And now here's the one I'm going to speak a little slowly on, because it took me a while to find the proper UUID, because there's multiple UUIDs that they create. You want the invitee UUID.
Oh, is this the wrong one?
No, you're right on that part. The custom field part, you're fine. It's the data that it's going to put in there. So use the drop down. You're going to use invitee created, and now you're going to look for the invitee UUID.
Okay, cool.
Because that'll attach the person with their invitee data. Oops, it dropped away your options.
Oh, what's that all about? Oh, here's the invite. I was just trying to make it so. Invitee UUID. This one?
There it is. There it is. Yep. And then get rid of that INV. So that little code is something that would be added to the end of the URL if you were going to do a reschedule or a cancel. We'll cover that in another video, but that's just so you understand why we're collecting it in the first place. It's just how you can then send information back into Calendly again to update an event that already exists.
Right. Okay.
So, but for now, that is all you need to do on the Zap side. So we're going to go back into, I don't know if you want to kind of look at the whole Zap, or if you're cool with this, have any questions at this point?
Oh, I mean, honestly, I think for anybody watching, it's step by step, and I don't need to like understand all of it to know to like get it done. You know what I mean? I think I do understand most of where this is coming from, or so I think this is great so far. So okay, cool. So what's next?
Back into ManyChat.
All right.
So now we're gonna it's a combination of rules and flows. So that's how I do it. I create a flow that's going to say what it's going to say, but the rule's the thing that's going to trigger it. Okay. So the flow, let me pull up. You're going to want one that's the appointment confirmation.
Okay, so we're making a new flow?
Well, here, let me ask you this question before we go into it. So the way we have it set up right now, when you take a date field and you display it back to a user from ManyChat and they see, and you just show them that custom field in a message, it's going to automatically put it in UTC time zone. So it's going to be off.
Gotcha.
If you wanted to display back in, change the time zone that it displays them back to, that's another video. We'll have to add that feature later to adjust for time zones automatically. It's definitely possible. It's not difficult. It just takes time to explain it.
Okay.
Or we can have Zapier actually send back the appointment time. And if Zapier sends back the confirmation saying you scheduled the time here, it'll send it back in the same time zone that your Calendly is in. So if you're in Central or Mountain, it'll send it back in that.
Like as long as we're telling them a time zone, but if they're not in that time zone, they can do the math. At this point, I mean, if we want to do that other video, we can. But I think at this point, why don't we just do the one where that sends them back the time with a time zone, so then they can figure it out whether.
Gotcha. So yeah, we're going to want to create a new flow, and this new flow we'll call appointment confirmation.
All right.
And then you're going to basically just have a message here that says, you're booked. Here's your appointment time and day. Remember, this time is displayed in UTC, so you'll want to adjust for your time zone.
Oh, so if my Calendly is in ET, will it come back in Eastern?
Not once it's run through the filter of ManyChat. ManyChat always takes a date variable and always makes it UTC when it displays it back.
Okay, so it only can send UTC at this point.
Once it's, if we're doing it this way, if we want this message to be sent and show it in your Calendly's time zone, then this message just has to be sent from Zapier as opposed to being a message here in ManyChat.
Gotcha. Well, okay, because I think it would be better for the audience if we did it through Zapier then, because then it would be, I think, because not everybody's going to be UTC, but what everybody would be practical is to send the time zone of their Calendly.
Got it. So pause on this. We're going to rename this and use this flow as something else in a moment. We're going to use this as a reminder flow. So this we can trash for the moment. So for kids, those of you following along at home, the appointment confirmation message is going to be part of Zapier as opposed to Messenger. So let's jump on over to Zapier and add a last step to this Zap.
Excellent.
And we're going to use an action. It's going to be ManyChat. And selecting the proper account. Oh, we're send a text message is the option we're going to use. Send a text message to user.
I haven't used that one yet. That's the first time I've seen it up there.
Yeah, it's just simply that. You're just sending basically a message. The only thing is you won't see this inside your ManyChat account. It fires from Zapier, but it looks the same. So same concept where we're going to pull the data, use a custom value advanced for this towards the bottom, and then we're going to pull the messenger ID from the original invitee created, because all that is always the basis of who you're going to do. So that's the wrong one again. Remember, so how it's...
That's right. I got to look for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go through here again. Invitee. Oh, this one.
That one. Boom. And now you're going to actually type this out like you would the message that you would use. Yeah, and you can insert first name there, but you would do it differently. Use the, it wouldn't be like that. It won't work. But you do this using the variables here. So go ahead and grab the, use the drop down there. Now in this one, you could use the first, you can use that if you want. That, or the first name there. There you go. There you go. That works.
I love that. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. You could use full name, but I think in this context, first name makes sense.
Yeah, it should be a little bit first name basis at this point.
Right.
And you can enter line breaks. Line breaks should work for you.
Okay, cool.
And then you're going to want to insert the invite. Your time is, and then you're going to use it from the invitee created. You're going to insert the start time here.
This one?
That one, yep.
Okay, great.
And then if that's all you want to say in that message, then that's all you need. Right.
That's good enough?
That's good enough.
Cool. All right, continue.
And then send the test, and you should get an inbox notification. Bing.
That. So we got 2019-05-06T, 10 o'clock.
To 4 o'clock. So it's not the prettiest in this particular format. Oh, you know what? Go back to Zapier. Yep. There's another format version of the same thing that you can use. It'll be prettier. So go back in and edit the template there.
Okay.
And then go down to where you have the time and date inserted. There's another format of it you can insert. Go into invitee created. It's got it written out, and actually there it is. So 10 a.m. Monday. Yeah, so that looks pretty.
It even says pretty.
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny. I love how Zapier. I love it when like developers like have that little sense of humor.
A little sense of humor to it, yeah.
I love that. There we go. I can see it already there.
So that way it's not as hokey looking.
Oh, that's much better. 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
So now you want to set up reminders, right?
Right. Why not?
So let's set up reminders for this. So go ahead and you can go back and change the name of this one and call it hour before reminder, or whatever makes sense to you as far as when you want your reminders to happen. Sure. For me, I do an hour before, 5 minutes before. And if we were doing a more advanced version of this, while you're doing the kind of just the busy work of setting that up, when I personally have my bot doing this, on the hour before, it gives them a cancel and a reschedule option, but the 5 minute before does not, so that they don't cancel at that last minute on me.
Right. That makes
now, this time you have no choice but to display the time and date back in UTC. This is a feature we can talk about in a future video if people want to know, on a free tool that we can use to convert these time zones so that it's not UTC when it displays back. But for right now,
if we set this to an hour, though, can't we just say in an hour?
Yes, you absolutely can. Yeah, if it right. So if you had multiple day out reminders, it'd be different. But if you're doing it in an hour, you could say, hey, our call's beginning in an hour. Whatever other useful information would be there, I'll be calling you on phone, or whatever, or we'll be contacting on Zoom, or here's my phone number, look out for it. Whatever other information is what you would want to give to them before that call is what you put in this message.
Okay, so I'm gonna send I'll do this another time, but I'll send Zoom link, and then basically they can click the link from Messenger with the reminder.
Correct.
Come on.
Stupid simple, right? And so we're gonna go ahead and publish this, and then I create a second one that's almost exactly the same. It might be event reminder 5 minute before. That just gives you another option to right at that last whatever minute, just to let them know that it's happening. And if you want to send yourself one that tells you when it's at the time, we can also set one of those up too.
I think that's okay for now. I probably would just send the hour one.
You want to take that "and" out in 5 minutes.
In and the 5 minutes. Yep.
All right. So now those are created. Now we're going to jump over into rules, which is under automations tab. Automation. Sorry, it's not pluralized. And then rules. If you're not familiar with rules are pretty cool. They just allow you to do basically what Zapier does, but with stuff inside Messenger. So this thing happens, do this thing. This thing happens, do this thing. Right. And so we're going to set up a rule. This is going to be the 1 hour reminder rule. So the trigger is going to be date and time based. Okay. And so go ahead and click on that 1 days. You're going to do 1 hour. And then you're going to do change that after to before, and then select the event date custom field. That's the whole entire trigger. So now it's going to trigger 1 hour before that event date and time. Now you want to do the action. What is going to happen? You're going to start a flow. Start what do they call it in here? Sure. Yep. Start a flow, and then you're going to go select your 1 hour before reminder. And once it is saved and activated, this is now set up to remind you 1 hour before.
That's super cool.
Now, you wouldn't want to do the same one in here because you would have two different messages. Your 5 minutes before and your 1 minute before would be a different message. And all this would do is send the same message at 5 minutes before. So you'd want to create a whole new rule for the 5 minute before reminder than you would the 1 hour before reminder just because they're sending different flows.
Yeah, so that's okay. Gotcha. For a second I thought I was in the new rule, but this is all one rule. Okay.
Yeah,
And,
that's all I want, because you could have 10 different things triggering multiple different actions.
yeah, I haven't played a lot with rules. This is super fun for me. Okay, cool. And then we'll do event reminder 5 mins, and then we get the trigger, date, time, and day, 5, boom, boom, boom. And then we go select use mail, event date.
Don't forget before.
Before, duh. Don't want to mess with them an hour after.
5 minutes after they're into it. By the way, call's beginning.
Right? All right. Boom.
And there you go. You now have a very basic appointment scheduler bot that's fully functional, that works with Calendly and will send appointment reminders.
Oh, Justin, that is super cool, man. Thank you for showing all this. I think it's only fair that we do a little preview now.
Certainly. And then if you like, right at the very end, we can you can go through mine and show just the advanced features, the other things that you can add on to it.
Sure, that would be cool. So let's do that. And then basically we'll ask everyone if they want to get another video.
That's right.
Okay, cool. So, hey, Stephen, welcome to Chat Blender. Thank you for requesting an appointment. Please click the button below to begin. I'm going to Giphy this up also. Please tap your best email by typing below. Phone number. Thank you for that information, Stephen. Last time, the step was to book your time. Okay, so for this one, it basically opens Calendly. So if this was on a phone, it would just pop up in Messenger.
Yes, and if you white label Calendly's URL too, you can have it pop up in that pretty shadow box style when you're on desktop.
Yeah, okay. So I think what I'll probably actually do is this. Let's try this real quick. What did I want to do? I want this to appear native to Messenger.
Right, so a couple things. So first hit the book time button.
Here it is. Great.
Yep, and then native, but the first thing you're gonna need to white label Calendly for that to work properly.
Oh, what's that mean?
So copy calendly.com right there, just from that button URL, just the main source link.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like put it into a.
And then go to settings. I published this first, of course. We'll go back and publish it.
Yeah, no worries. There we go.
And go to settings, and then growth tools. And then there's this white label section here, right there. Just go ahead and pop that in there.
Beautiful.
That's basically white labeling Calendly with your Facebook account / ManyChat account, which allows that better user experience to actually happen when it comes to how you'll see that it pops up a little bit in a more pretty way.
Yeah, just instead of it, because I like it when it at least appears into the Messenger, right? Like,
yeah.
I try to not get people off the page unless it's like the final result of a sequence.
Right. And now on mobile, it always just opens as an overlay, but you never know if the person's in mobile or not. So,
totally.
Some other advanced things you can do is check to see if they've scheduled an appointment with you before, and if they've already given you email and phone number, you don't have to ask for that again.
Right. That's great.
So another reason why I chose Calendly also is its color scheme is very similar to Messenger.
Right.
So it feels fairly native. You're selecting 12 noon on May 6th. All that information is already added in. All you got to do is hit submit.
Okay, and then they basically exit that.
Right. And if you do the and then give the zap a few moments to trigger as long as it's on. And if you it was off. Bummer.
Obviously it was off. Because we added that layer, right?
All right. So it didn't trigger that part because of that.
Okay, that's okay. Let's just go back. No problem.
Do it again. So
just looking myself out of time right now.
That's right. If you what was I going to say? Oh, if you have the pro version of Calendly 2, after you book an appointment, you can redirect to a URL. And if you redirect just to your normal Messenger m.me link, it's pretty seamless in how it just closes the window.
Gotcha. Oh, that's great. I'm going to set that up after.
Yeah, so you can just set the redirect. So right at this point, it just redirects right back into Messenger.
Back to Messenger. Oh, I like that. And then I wonder if there's a way for, oh, there we go. Steven, you're officially booked. Your time is 10 a.m. Tuesday, May 7th. Like, oh man, that's pretty cool.
And then you will get your reminders in your Messenger.
I love it. And the reminders automatic from the rules. Man, this was
That's right.
great. I love it. So that was like a whole walkthrough there. And look how easy that was. That's so much better than, basically having people book a time and then have nothing sent back. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
when you can link it to confirmations and automated reminders, like that for me is what's standing out as the real value of doing it this way. Because then your reminders are in Messenger, not just like, okay, now we're on the email train. It's like, no, this is a chatbot thing,
Right. And another to add on to that, like I don't get emails that I don't let emails show up on my screen. Like I have to physically open my email account app in order to see emails, but Messenger pops in as a notification. So
right.
I get all of those.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. And so I remember you said earlier, it'd be cool to go look at the advanced version that you've made.
Yep.
Is that schedule a phone call, I assume?
That is scheduled. I think there might be one more step after that, but that's how you get to it.
All right, cool. What's what?
So it already knew you scheduled. So it skipped the phone number and I think it will skip the phone number and email question. See, I offer them an option to choose their connection preference.
Right. Okay. So let's say phone. Okay, cool. And then all that's left is picking a good time. All right, schedule. Boom, pops up. You'll have to remember to cancel this.
Yeah, no worries. You can cancel right after and show the cancel feature.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so here, this is smart. So
right, and then it actually selected the proper option.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a little more advanced too, showing how that works.
That was definitely taken from another time because I'm no longer affiliated with that business. Okay, excellent. Okay, cool. So that looks good. So schedule events. I love how the platform comes up in multiple choice.
Mm-hmm.
That's very cool.
So that one didn't redirect for some reason. It should have, but it didn't.
Yeah, fair enough. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Okay, your event's scheduled 10:30. We'll send you reminders. Something comes up, and then you have basically the cancel. So let's press cancel. So it pops up Calendly.
See, it pulls up your actual time.
No. Okay, cool. And then it cancels it like that.
Yep. I get notified, so I just got a notification telling me that an appointment was scheduled. Then it told me that it was canceled. And then you get a confirmation. Appointment has been canceled.
Oh man, that's
super schedule.
Cool. There are so many good use cases for this, because it's just anything you can do to make this process just that much more streamlined and just seamless, the better, So I think we've taken some great steps here.
Absolutely. And when we first talked about explaining how to do this whole thing, there's mine I built over time. So it started like the one we just built today, and then I was like, well, what about allowing someone to change an appointment or cancel this, the other thing? So I started adding things over time, and now mine's what I call a fully featured appointment scheduling bot that allows you to pretty much do whatever it is that you need to do. I don't allow it to change contact platform yet, but that's probably my next addition.
That's the whole thing about entrepreneurship in general. Solve your own problems, and you end up solving others as well.
That's right.
Yeah, I love it. Well, thank you so much for spending time with me, Justin. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And let us know, guys, in the comments if you want to get more videos like this to add layers to your appointment system. For now, I'm Steve.
I'm Justin.
And we'll see you later.